In a vast room filled with strange creatures, the Galactic Council gathered. Representatives from many alien races sat around a large, round table. Their faces were serious and their voices were low. They were discussing a subject that had captured their attention: humans. Humans had recently come into contact with several alien species, and their reputation was spreading like wildfire. Some called them brave, while others called them reckless. But one name stuck out: Deathbringers. The council leader, a tall alien with blue skin and sharp features, leaned forward. "We must understand why these humans are called Deathbringers. What do they do to earn such a fearsome title?" His voice echoed in the room, and everyone nodded in agreement. They all knew that fear was a powerful tool in the galaxy, and the humans seemed to wield it expertly. Council members began to share their stories. One by one, they spoke of encounters with human ships. A representative from the Gorn species recalled a time when his fleet had been ambushed by humans. "We thought they were just simple creatures," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "But their ships moved with surprising speed. They struck us down before we knew what was happening. We lost many good warriors that day." Another council member, a small insect-like creature with glowing eyes, spoke up. "I witnessed a human ship destroy an entire fleet. They fought with a mix of strategy and brute force. It was like watching a predator take down its prey." The insect creature shuddered at the memory, and the other council members listened intently. The discussions grew heated as the council debated what to do next. Some suggested sending a diplomatic envoy to Earth to learn more about humans. "Perhaps we can negotiate with them?" one counselor said. "If we can understand their culture and motivations, we might find a way to coexist." But others disagreed. "No! We should not trust them!" a gruff reptilian counselor shouted. "Their reputation alone is enough to show they are dangerous. We must prepare for war, not peace." The council was split. Some wanted to reach out to humans, while others urged caution. The blue-skinned leader raised his hand, silencing the room. "We must gather more information. Let us send a small team to observe the humans and their fleet. We need to understand what makes them so powerful." With that decision made, the council began to plan their mission. They chose a skilled team of spies and strategists. Their task was clear: to uncover the truth behind the humans' reputation as Deathbringers. As they prepared for the journey to Earth, they knew they were treading on dangerous ground. Meanwhile, on Earth, a different kind of meeting was taking place. Military leaders were gathering in a war room, discussing the same threats the Galactic Council was worried about. They had heard whispers of alien ships and strange beings watching them from the stars. The atmosphere was tense and the stakes were high. In this room, a charismatic admiral stood up to speak. He was known for his courage and clever strategies. "We must not underestimate these aliens," he said firmly. "They are watching us, and they want to know what we are capable of. We have to show them our strength before they make a move against us." The admiral's words struck a chord with his fellow leaders. They knew that humanity's future depended on making a strong impression in the galaxy. They discussed their plans to mobilize the most powerful fleet, known as the Deathbringer, to demonstrate their might. They wanted to ensure that no alien would dare to challenge them. As the admiral outlined their strategy, the Galactic Council's team prepared to embark on their mission. The two sides were on a collision course, each trying to understand the other, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. The name Deathbringers would soon take on a meaning that neither side could have anticipated. As the Council's team set their course for Earth, a sense of foreboding filled the air. The mysteries of humanity awaited them, and soon they would discover whether the humans truly deserved their fearsome reputation. The stage was set for a showdown that would change everything. On Earth, the tension was palpable as military leaders gathered in a large war room. The walls were adorned with maps and digital screens, displaying information about the galaxies beyond. Generals and admirals sat at a long table, their expressions serious. They knew that danger was coming from the stars, and they had to be ready. At the head of the table stood Admiral Jack Thompson, a man known for his sharp mind and bravery. His uniform was crisp and his demeanor exuded confidence. He looked around the room, making eye contact with each leader. "We are facing a potential threat from the Galactic Council," he began, his voice steady. "They have been watching us closely, and we must show them that we are not to be underestimated." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed his words. General Maria Lopez, a fierce strategist known for her no-nonsense attitude, leaned forward. "What do we know about them?" she asked. "Have they made any moves? Do they have a plan?" Admiral Thompson nodded. We have intercepted communications suggesting that they are debating how to deal with us. Some want to make contact while others are ready to attack. We cannot wait to see what they decide. He paused, letting the gravity of the situation sink in. We need to act first. A young officer spoke up nervously, "But sir, if we mobilize our fleet, it could provoke them. What if they see it as a declaration of war?" Thompson held up his hand to silence the officer. They are already considering war. If we show weakness, we may find ourselves at their mercy. We must demonstrate our strength. We will gather our most powerful fleet, the Deathbringer, and prepare for whatever comes our way. The officers exchanged glances, sensing the seriousness of their mission. They had heard stories about the Deathbringer, a fleet known for its advanced technology and combat capabilities. If they were going to face the Galactic Council, they needed to mobilize quickly. As the meeting continued, the atmosphere became charged with determination. Plans were laid out to enhance their defenses and upgrade their ships. Engineers rushed to ensure the Deathbringer fleet was ready for action, and technicians worked day and night to optimize their weapons systems. The humans were united in their goal, to protect their planet at all costs. Meanwhile, Admiral Thompson called for a special briefing to address the crew of the Deathbringer. The ship was not just a fleet, it was a symbol of human strength and resilience. He knew that the crew needed to understand the importance of their mission. As the crew gathered in the ship's hangar, Thompson stood before them, his voice echoing through the vast space. "You all know why we are here. The Galactic Council sees us as a threat, and we must show them that they are right to fear us. We are not just a collection of ships, we are the Deathbringers. We fight for our home and our people." The crew erupted into cheers, their spirits lifted by the Admiral's words. Thompson continued, "Our enemies think we are weak because we are new to the galaxy. But we will prove them wrong. We will fight with everything we have, and we will protect Earth at all costs." He outlined their battle plan, explaining how they would engage the Council's ships if they came for them. The crew listened intently, their hearts racing with excitement and fear. They understood the stakes involved. They were fighting not just for their survival, but for the future of humanity. As the preparations continued, the air buzzed with energy. Engineers tested new weapons, pilots trained for dogfights, and strategists worked on tactics. Everyone knew that their time was limited, and the pressure to be ready was immense. Outside, the night sky was filled with stars, some twinkling brighter than others. Unknown to the humans, the Galactic Council was also preparing for their mission to Earth. The two sides were on a collision course, and the fate of their worlds would soon be decided. As the Deathbringer fleet stood ready for action, the humans felt a sense of pride and determination. They were united, and they would face whatever came their way. The name Deathbringers would soon be more than just a title, it would become a legacy. The day had finally arrived. The Deathbringer fleet was assembled and ready for action. Ships of all sizes lined the launch bays, their metallic surfaces gleaming under the bright lights. Admiral Jack Thompson stood on the command deck of the flagship, the USS Invincible, surveying the scene. He could feel the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The fate of humanity rested in their hands. "Prepare to launch!" Thompson ordered, his voice strong and clear. His crew sprang into action, following their training with precision. The atmosphere was electric with excitement and determination. They were not just a fleet. They were the embodiment of human strength. As the ships lifted off from the launch pads, they formed up in formation, creating a powerful display of unity. The Deathbringer fleet was a sight to behold. It included battleships, cruisers, and smaller fighter jets, all ready to protect Earth. Thompson watched as the ships maneuvered into position, their engines roaring to life. Meanwhile, in a hidden corner of the galaxy, the Galactic Council was observing the humans from their ships. They had sent a small scouting party to watch the Deathbringer fleet as it prepared for its display of power. Council members whispered among themselves, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. They had heard tales of humans' skills in battle, but seeing it firsthand was something else. One council member, a tall, elegant being with silver skin, spoke up. "Look at their fleet! They are far more organized than we expected. They are not just simple creatures. They are a force to be reckoned with." His voice was filled with a mix of admiration and fear. Back on Earth, Admiral Thompson took a deep breath and addressed his crew again. "Today, we will show the galaxy what we are made of. We will conduct a demonstration of our capabilities. This is our chance to prove that humans are not to be trifled with." The crew responded with a resounding cheer, their confidence growing. They were eager to show their skills and demonstrate the power of their fleet. As the Deathbringer fleet moved into open space, Thompson signaled for the demonstration to begin. The first part of the demonstration involved a simulated combat scenario. The USS Invincible led the way, and the other ships followed closely. They engaged in a series of maneuvers that showcased their agility and speed. Fighter jets darted in and out, performing impressive loops and rolls. The crews worked together seamlessly, communicating through their advanced systems. As they flew, Thompson felt a sense of pride swell within him. His crew was performing flawlessly. They executed complex formations that made it look effortless. "Now let's show them our firepower," he commanded. The fleet opened fire with their laser cannons, bright beams of energy lighting up the dark void of space. The coordinated display of firepower was mesmerizing. Each ship unleashed a barrage of colorful energy blasts, creating a beautiful yet terrifying light show. It was a warning to anyone who dared to challenge them. The council members watching from afar were stunned. They had expected to see a clumsy demonstration, but what they witnessed was a well-orchestrated performance. The humans' ability to work together and operate their ships with such precision was impressive. "We may have underestimated them," one council member admitted, his voice laced with concern. As the demonstration continued, Thompson decided to push the limits. "Let's show them our secret weapon," he announced. The crew exchanged excited glances, knowing what was coming next. They prepared the Deathbringer's most advanced weapon, the plasma torpedoes. With a signal from Thompson, the flagship launched several torpedoes into space. They zipped through the void, leaving a trail of light in their wake. When they reached a designated target, they exploded in a dazzling display of power. The shock waves rippled through space, sending a clear message to the Galactic Council: humans were not to be trifled with. As the demonstration concluded, the crew of the Deathbringer erupted into cheers. They had successfully showcased their skills and power, leaving no doubt about their capabilities. Admiral Thompson felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. They had made their point, and now the galaxy would know why humans were called Deathbringers. But deep down, he also knew that this was just the beginning. The Council would not back down easily. They were watching closely, and conflict was looming on the horizon. With the demonstration complete, the crew would need to prepare for whatever came next. The stakes had never been higher, and the true test of humanity's strength was yet to come. The Galactic Council was buzzing with excitement and fear after witnessing the Deathbringer fleet's impressive display of power. Members who had once scoffed at humans now found themselves rethinking their stance. The silver-skinned council member, Zephyr, gathered everyone in the main chamber for a meeting. The air was thick with tension as they prepared to discuss the implications of what they had seen. "Today we saw a force we did not expect," Zephyr began, his voice steady. "The humans have proven they are more than mere animals. They are capable of great organization and advanced technology. We must take this seriously." His eyes scanned the faces of his fellow council members, seeking their agreement. A member with emerald skin and sharp features named Vrix scoffed. "They are still just a young race. They cannot challenge us. We have superior technology and experience. We should strike before they get too strong." Vrix's arrogance made the other council members uneasy. They had seen the humans' power firsthand and were not ready to dismiss them. Zephyr shook his head. "Attacking them now could provoke a war we are not ready to fight. We need to gather more intelligence. Let us observe them further before making any rash decisions." The murmurs around the chamber showed that some members agreed with him. They knew that understanding the humans was crucial to their survival. Back on Earth, Admiral Thompson and his crew celebrated their successful demonstration, but the Admiral remained focused. He understood that their show of strength had likely caught the Council's attention, and they would not sit idly by. As the crew celebrated in the mess hall, Thompson took a moment to reflect. "Even though we won today, we must not grow complacent," he told his officers. "The Council is powerful, and they will not forget what they witnessed. We need to be ready for anything." His words dampened the mood slightly, but everyone knew he was right. The crew went about their tasks, preparing the ships for any potential conflicts. Some pilots took their fighters out for practice, while engineers worked to enhance the fleet's capabilities. Tension lingered in the air, but there was also a sense of purpose. They were united, prepared to face whatever the Council might throw at them. Meanwhile, back in the Council chamber, Zephyr proposed a new strategy. What if we send a diplomatic envoy to the humans? He suggested. We can gather more information and learn about their culture. It may help us find a way to coexist peacefully. Vrix frowned at the idea. You want to negotiate with them? They will see it as a sign of weakness. We must act decisively. His passion was evident, but others began to see the merit in Zephyr's suggestion. Several council members spoke up, expressing their concerns about a direct conflict. Perhaps we should learn more about their history and their values. Diplomacy could lead to a peaceful solution, one member argued. As the debate continued, Zephyr felt a growing sense of hope. If we can understand their perspective, we might avoid a war altogether. We do not need to see them as enemies. They have families, hopes, and dreams just like us. After much discussion, the council voted in favor of sending a diplomatic envoy to Earth. They would approach the humans with caution, aiming for a peaceful resolution rather than conflict. Vrix was reluctant but saw that the tide had turned. Back on Earth, Thompson received word that the Galactic Council had chosen to send a diplomat. His crew was shocked. Are they really trying to talk to us? One pilot asked, disbelief in her voice. Thompson rubbed his chin thoughtfully. This could be an opportunity. We need to be careful, though. If they come with bad intentions, we must be ready to defend ourselves. He gathered his senior officers to discuss their response. We will meet them, but we will not lower our guard. They may be trying to assess us or find a weakness, he said. We must approach this with caution, but also with an open mind. If there is a chance for peace, we must explore it. As the plans to meet the envoy took shape, a new sense of purpose filled the air. The crew knew that the upcoming meeting could change everything. They were on the brink of a new chapter, one that could either lead to war or a new understanding between two very different worlds. The stage was set, and both sides prepared for a confrontation that could change the galaxy forever. The next steps would be crucial, and the world held its breath as the humans and the Galactic Council approached the brink of destiny. The day of the meeting between the Galactic Council and the human representatives had arrived. Tensions were high on both sides as they prepared for a historic confrontation. Admiral Jack Thompson stood on the bridge of the USS Invincible, watching the viewscreen as the Council's ship approached. The sleek, shimmering vessel hovered nearby, its exterior gleaming in the light of distant stars. "Prepare to receive the Council envoy," Thompson commanded, his voice steady despite the nervous energy in the room. His crew moved swiftly, ensuring everything was in order for this critical moment. They had spent days preparing for this encounter, hoping to secure peace but knowing that the stakes were high. As the Council ship docked with the Invincible, a hush fell over the bridge. All eyes were on the airlock as it slid open, revealing the Galactic Council envoy. Zephyr, the silver-skinned council member, stepped forward with an air of confidence, flanked by two armed guards. His expression was calm, but Thompson could sense the tension underneath. "Admiral Thompson, thank you for welcoming us," Zephyr said, his voice smooth yet firm. "We come in peace, seeking to understand your people better." Thompson nodded, returning the greeting. "We are open to dialogue, but I must warn you that we will defend ourselves if necessary." The words hung in the air, a reminder that both sides were on edge. As they moved into the conference room, both parties took their seats. The atmosphere was tense, filled with unspoken words and wary glances. Zephyr began to speak, explaining the Council's desire for peace and their wish to avoid conflict. "We have seen your power and strength," he said, "but we want to learn from you and find a way to coexist." Thompson listened carefully, weighing each word. "We are willing to consider cooperation, but we need assurances that you will not attack us. Trust must be earned, not given freely." The Admiral's tone was serious, and he could see that the Council members were beginning to grasp the weight of the situation. Suddenly, a loud alarm blared throughout the ship. The lights flickered, and a red alert flashed on the screens. "What's happening?" Thompson shouted, his heart racing. His crew scrambled to assess the situation. "Sir, we're detecting multiple ships approaching fast," an officer reported. "They appear to be hostile." Zephyr's eyes widened in alarm. "This is a mistake! We did not send for reinforcements." The Council envoy's calm demeanor faltered as the threat of an incoming attack loomed. "Admiral, we must act quickly," one of Thompson's officers urged. "We need to prepare for battle." Thompson's mind raced. This was the moment they had feared. "We will defend ourselves, but we also need to protect the envoy," he decided. "Zephyr, you and your guards must stay in the command center. We can't risk your safety." Zephyr nodded, realizing the seriousness of the situation. "We will assist you in any way we can. This attack could endanger both our peoples." As the Deathbringer fleet readied for battle, Thompson and his crew sprang into action. The ships moved into formation, and the tension was palpable. The enemy vessels appeared on the view screen, sleek and menacing, with weapons primed and ready. "Prepare to engage," Thompson ordered, his voice firm. The crew responded quickly, their training kicking in as they took their positions. The first shots rang out, bright streaks of energy flying through space. The Deathbringer fleet responded with powerful barrages of their own, the brilliance of their firepower lighting up the dark void. Ships danced around each other in a deadly ballet, the sounds of explosions echoing in the command center. Amid the chaos, Thompson's focus sharpened. "We need to find a way to disable their weapons without causing mass destruction. We cannot afford to lose the chance for peace," he shouted. As the battle raged, Zephyr observed the humans' tactics with growing respect. "They are fighting with skill and strategy," he remarked. "This is not just brute force. They are trying to limit casualties." With a renewed sense of determination, Thompson called for a new plan. "We'll target their weapon systems first. Disable them without destroying their ships," he instructed. The crew adjusted their targeting systems accordingly. The Deathbringer fleet unleashed a flurry of precision shots, aiming for the enemy's weapons. Slowly but surely, the tides of battle began to turn. One by one, enemy ships lost their firing capabilities, and the council members watched in awe. Finally, the last hostile ship surrendered, drifting in space, its weapons crippled. Cheers erupted on the Invincible, but Thompson remained focused. He knew this was only the beginning. "Now we have to talk," he said, turning to Zephyr. "We must reach out to the council and offer a chance for true peace." Zephyr nodded, realizing that this confrontation had shifted the dynamics of their relationship. As the dust settled and the stars shone brightly overhead, both humans and the Galactic Council faced a new reality. They had crossed a critical threshold, and the possibility of cooperation and understanding lay ahead. Together, they could forge a new path, one where both species could learn from each other and stand united against any future threats.